Hi, everyone. I have with me Mr. Layak Singh, who is the founder of the insurance technology firm, InsurTech, as they called, which is Artivatic. I would quickly go to Layak and ask him how he bumped across this idea that he wanted to build an InsurTech. So over to you, Layak. So what made you start this firm?
Okay, thank you, Azam. So we started Artivatic in 2017. The focus was over here, as you know, in insurance that like entire ecosystem, the value chain is broken. When you want to buy a policy, you have to go through with multiple processes. So we created a thought that why can't we leverage the technology that can ease the process either into buying a policy, managing the operations, making a claims on that, and how we can get a policy or the premium or the coverages that is need to my needs actually. So considering all these thoughts, we started Artivatic as a tech platform that optimizing the operations and digitizing the entire insurance value chain was the motive behind us to launch the company.
So I'm very eager because Policy Bazaar is like way ahead. They have been operating for a few years now. They've got a learning curve.
Correct.
What do you feel differentiates you as a brand from Policy Bazaar that as a customer I should buy from you and not Policy Bazaar?
Okay, let me correct it over here. So basically, insurance is basically the multiple parts. The
Okay.
first part that you saw is the insurance carrier, which
Okay.
is like ICICI Prudential, Ergo, Lombard, all these companies.
Okay.
The second part that you see is the distributors, which is Policy Bazaar, Renewy, Bajaj Capital, and
Okay.
many such platforms like CoverFox.
Okay.
But we are not that. We are not competing with them.
Okay.
Artivatic is basically non-regulated entity,
Okay.
and we primarily focus on the technology operations.
Okay.
Customer does not buy the policy from Artivatic directly.
Okay.
In fact, Artivatic platform basically helps Policybazaar or any such kind of company who is struggling to handle their operations, reaching out to customers, unable to finding out the right coverages and premiums to the customers, using technologies to basically develop the risk underwriting, claims management seamless. So the backend system, which they on top of which they basically issue the policies, which they basically file a claim, is provided by Artivatic. So we know we're competing with Policybazaar. We know we're competing with anybody else.
Right. So this is awesome.
They
So you
basically
are
are
the
clients to us.
yeah. So basically, Policy Bazaar is your client, and what you do is
Exactly.
you provide them the technology to run their operations, the distributor business on.
Yeah, like I give an example. Say an example of Infosys.
Yep.
Infosys basically providing financial platform for the
Yeah.
banking, on which the entire banking is being run. Similarly, Artivatic is becoming the financial for insurance,
Hmm.
which is currently being taken care as a traditional businesses and the access driven insurance companies who is calculating the premiums, coverage, risk, and benefits on that.
A very interesting thing that comes to my mind is so I'm going to quote this guy. His name is Robert. He was the Disney CEO for a couple of years, like close to 45 years. He had a run, starting with ABC and then this. So he talks of one of his bosses, and he says his boss used to be the CEO of Disney. His name was Michael, and he says that one thing that I learned from Michael was how to see, something. So when you are starting this Artivatic and building it up, what is it that you see? Because Policy Bazaar, you started in 2017, and Policy Bazaar has been running for a quite long duration. So they would have already built in the system. So that's a little curious.
So I'll tell you. See, when you develop this kind of business,
Hmm.
not only policy bazaar, take an example of Echo or Digit as well.
Yeah.
Now, if you look into these kind of platforms too, if you go to the Echo, if you go to the
Yeah.
Digit, they are basically partnering with the businesses, right?
Right.
And building the distribution part. But to run the distribution through the risk assessment is not they have bought it, built it actually.
Okay.
For any, either it is a company like a Prudential, it's a company like Policy Bazaar, they're having like a traditional systems like a CRM engines and existing ERP platforms on which they run it. So tomorrow I can launch my insurance company and I can have an Excel sheet in which I can enter my clients' data, customers' data, and I
Right.
can sell them, okay, hey, I can give you a premium of 5 rupees or 10 rupees or 1,000 rupees of the coverages, and I can launch the distribution company. But to understanding the risk around that, understanding that what to provide, what not to provide, it all comes a part of technology. And fairly less than 10% businesses are basically doing that right now.
Got it. So you are principally, your biggest offering is that we help companies get better technology on risk assessment.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'll just give a quick summary, a step
Sure.
back. Take an example. 3 years back, 5 years back, how do you take a loan from the bank? You need to sign hundreds of papers. Either you have to submit a securities to them,
Yeah.
and then the agent will come verify, and then you will get a loan. You have to like wait for like 15 days, 30 days to get a loan approval. Now think current situation right now, how it is happening. 2 minutes, the two
Yep.
lakhs will be in your pocket. What is happening? Because the data, the technology, and the process which has been digitized, the data collections and the learning. So this is what Artivatic is currently building for new age insurance. Any insurance industry to become new age digital insurance company, online only insurance company, or without setting up any physical branches, long operations, you can launch your insurance company on top of Artivatic. So we are actually creating that environment as an API infrastructure or a plug and play platform. So tomorrow you want to launch distribution, tomorrow you want to do risk assessment, tomorrow you want to launch your branches digitally, tomorrow you want to launch customer support into tomorrow. So entire ecosystem of the insurance you can launch within a quick plug and play within a matter of 2 to 3 weeks to Artivatic now.
So if I ask you the question of market size, then your market size is going to comprise of all the insurance distributors and the insurance creators. They are going to be your.
Absolutely. Insurance carriers, distributors, brokers, and now as we're extending our market, these are the players like a B2C businesses who would like to basically provide insurance to their customers, who need this infra to start policy operations, the banks, who is launching the banca insurance.
Yep.
So these are the kind of customers that we look into. And our market size, if you look into that, like we look the market size is the number of insurers. So say in India, out of 1.130 million, like 1.3 billion people right now, and only 4% penetration is there. So that means like the current size is like a 55-60 million dollar who are insured in India. But considering that like the number of people who's coming to buy a policy, which is passing through our underwriting engine, is a customer for us.
So that means any manufacturer. So your product is so beautiful that it is just not the insurers who could use it, but it could be anyone for that matter. It could be a manufacturer. For example, let's say an HP that could also issue an insurance for the machines. It could be
Absolutely, like
it could be a
Flipkart.
Lenskart
Flipkart
also.
can launch.
It could be a Lenskart also that may just give
Yeah,
you an accidental.
Lenskart, Flipkart,
Yeah.
or like a say example like Sulekha.com or Urban Clap. Anybody want to launch an insurance, they can also launch the insurance through Artivatic using our technologies right away. So we're not only disrupting the value chain, which used to happen in the back end operations, which used to take 3 days, 10 days, 20 days on issuing the policies, right? The doctors who's basically analyzing the medical images. So we have built a kind of system which analyzes the medical images data, and you can say like a robo medical advisory. In that case, it's like a robo medical advisory means the underwriter who's sitting on the premises and checking your medical data, diagnostic, ECG, the system does that check and accept that, okay, yes, I need to issue the policy or not. So that is we calling the robo advice in the insurance as well on medical checks and utilizing different technologies from your environmental. So for example, like you're living in Delhi, you're living in Bangalore, how your environment is affecting your mortality, morbidity, and health as well. How to utilize that kind of learning and data. So we understand the risk around you and give the right products which is fits your need structure on that.
This is so game changing. So if I have to give you an insurance, I'm able to assess your health, living conditions, and I'm able to give you a plan which covers my risk.
Exactly right. Exactly
if
right.
if I'm a doctor and if I'm seeing a patient, I need to give him an insurance cover. Then I can look at his graphs and I could do a risk assessment
Yeah,
and tell him what is it, what kind of a coverage I can offer him. This is
absolutely
really
true.
game changing. So yeah, I totally get it that so till now the technology that used to be available or the method that used to be available with insurance players, you are democratizing it. That means every manufacturer is going to get it. Anyone who wants to
That's true.
offer a service.
Uh, Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Currently, what used to happen in insurance, like say, as you use I think most of us have used macros in our engineering colleges, right?
Yep.
In Excel sheets. So, like what happens in the actuaries in insurance, like they used to have the okay, what is your age? Which location it belongs to? What is your gender? What is your income? Hey, this is what the details about you, and let me give these policies to you. But either you have a risk or not, we don't know around you. Now, what they used to calculate, okay, like let an example of life insurance. In life insurance, like how many deaths is happening in that location? Infant death, family death, accidental death, And based on that, what is the mortality impact on that? So they used to calculate, okay, if the mortality rate is 7.8%, we have to multiply the premiums by 7 point or something like that. They used to create the premiums. But now what is happening, we are actually utilizing the data from your environmental, your sanitation, your devices, the way that you basically like active in your lifestyle on health devices, your locational intelligence, your risk fraud intelligence, learning from the doctors, learning from the medicals, understanding your financials, and utilizing the data from your mortality, weather condition, because that is impacting your health, like important locations. So all this kind of like a data is getting merged, and based on that, we understanding, okay, what is the potential mortality will be there, what is the potential morbidity will be there, to build a risk on that.
Got it. So your technology is definitely amazing. It's very inspiring because what you are doing is you are making the technology available for anyone who wants to offer a product with an insurance.
Yeah,
So that means
that's true.
your customer could be anyone, right from a manufacturer to a doctor to anyone who has a product they want to offer along with a guarantee. That's what your
Uh,
technology does.
That's true. But that's true. But just a quick one point, like so, this technology, like in terms of when you're talking the underwriting piece, the underwriting can only be happen at the carrier side. So if I am a Flipkart, if I'm a business want to launch an insurance, they can't underwrite the policies actually. So the underwriting piece of that can only happen on the carrier side. But yes, that learning, that understanding, that the initial risk can be done on any business that you want to launch. As a doctor, if you are, if you are like if you are a business, based on the customer's data, you can basically understand that, hey, on this is the risk that is coming. This is the kind of it is like a predictive offer we can give, and depending on the actual data, the final underwriting happens on the insurance company side to issue the policy to you. So that insurance is a little bit kind of a complex business, where everything does not happen quite straight actually, as like it happens in lending. That, hey, I'm giving a loan to you. You just enter your PAN number, and like detail is your income, and I can give the loan. That doesn't happen in insurance, in insurance right now.
Okay. And if I have to, so now that you have got the idea correct, now that you have assessed the market, and your idea is we are going to help you with risk assessment for your
Yes.
product. That's what we do with the data technology. And the
Yeah.
audience are going to be varied, right from a manufacturer to an, or it could be any manufacturer to any service provider. It extends there. If I have to ask you now, because you're wanting to build your company, so what is it? How do you decide what is the first set of an audience you need to go with? How do you decide on that audience?
Okay. So when we start building a company, what happens is that we normally work with the business teams in the insurance companies, the ones who's basically actually underwriting the policies, or the ones who is filing a claims, or the ones who is basically distributing the products and policies right now. So those are the audience, like you can say the business team, the CXO teams, who decide how to use this technology, what are the benefits around that, and how it's going to help in them in terms of their efficiency, the cost, in terms of the customer engagement, in terms of the time, in terms of the risk and fraud detections, many such areas actually, because these are kind of like core technologies, and to to change the core technologies of any business, to change the way how they currently work on that, it needs a kind of like a deep dive with the CXS teams to understand and to give a decision on that to go ahead.
Got it. So out of so many audiences that are available, you have chosen to work on one audience, which is focusing on the CXO level, the top level for people who are distributing insurance. And that's one crystal audience that you want to go for, right?
That's true, because they are the decision makers, and for these kind of products to come in the picture, they are the ones who will decide whether this is acceptable or not. On the other side, another audience over here to accept these products is the risk team. So because the risk team, who's basically evaluating the different kind of legal aspects, compliance aspects, and regulatory aspects on that, because these are the products which need to go pass through and go through the regulatory importance when you assessing a risk or identifying your policies in terms of premiums and coverages to anybody.
Tell me, a lot of people have ideas. The biggest challenge that people have is, pitching their product and getting success out of it. So like the way they say, whatever idea you have, someone, already has got something of that sort. So when you go to
Yeah.
these companies, do you ever face like rejection? Like what is the percentage on a 10 on a 10, if you're okay with that? So what is going to be that type of a rejection that you face?
So normally, I'll just tell you, whenever I have pitched this kind of product to anybody, It basically in the how we can utilizing the alternative data, the different data to understanding the in-depth risk to go ahead. So these kind of products are not available at all anywhere. And this has not been a rejection for me at all as of now. Till the time I started my business and reaching over here, yeah, the rejection that have been in terms of adoption point of view. I'll tell you why. So these kind of products can't happen overnight success to them, and they can't realize the potential of that. Hey, that I'm delivering it today, you can start seeing the results by tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. So
Absolutely.
what we have to look into that way, that we need to get like a quarter or 6 months timeline, that this is how the system, the product is going to perform. This is how the system is going to learn on your activities, data, and to come up with the results on that. In certain cases, some businesses are okay to experiment, to understand and then analyze, get confidence, and go ahead. Some businesses do not have that kind of like a time period to wait, or maybe they're not convinced for that. This may or may not work for them region. So yeah, sometimes they also see like a magic that in a way, like they look at, okay, this is the kind of like not magic is going to happen, or this is like they find risk on that to applying, especially in the insurance, the new things on that. So that definitely is a rejection, but not rejection in terms of the product's point of view, but yes, adopting that and utilizing that faster is a risk right now for them.
So your product is definitely a great technology, but to sell this product, the challenges that I see is one, because the cycle, the gestation cycle, the adoption cycle is pretty long.
It's
People
higher.
don't see magical results and people don't have patience. So it's very difficult for you to demonstrate. So that's one challenge you have. The second
Yeah.
challenge is the data, because once I integrate you in my system, you could be just posing a risk. So how do you handle these two objections?
No. So the first point I just said right now, like at the moment of Artivatic right now, we don't see the first risk as well, as our system is already live with few of the companies, and they're happily working. And that is the kind of like importance to us. We spent yes, initial 2 years we had a risk because the system was not working anywhere, and they were not seeing the live results, and it was not validated. It was a risk, but now since it has been validated, it is getting adopted like a you can say like a hot cake right now in a way. First point of view. Second, because yeah, just to clarify over here, the validation time period is very high. You need to patience on that. And the second point of view, when you come to the data point of view, so our system is available on your premises to use it directly. So that means whatever the security gates the insurance company is facing right now and utilizing right now is available to our products as well. So we don't face any kind of data challenges because we don't take the data out to our premises at all. We work with many partners, collect our own data to build the algorithms on top of that, train that, get back to the insurance companies, then connect to their data systems to train over there and launch to the customers. So we don't have those kind of risks coming out at the moment to us.
So the challenge was usually when you were starting off, that's where the challenge was.
It is
So
a
if you want
challenge.
to talk about, getting the first customer, what you did correct that got you the first customer. If you remember that, would you want to talk about it?
No, absolutely. So when me and Puneet started this business earlier, in early 2017, this was not an InsurTech company.
Yep.
We were actually building a AI infrastructure platform, which was basically helping understanding the customers, consumers, intelligence, health, financials, all these around that. And that is where we created the kind of like a platform called decision system. It was the first decisions, automated decision system that we created. And when we went to the businesses, it happened reverse to us actually. The insurance companies basically came back to us that, hey, we're already doing the underwriting automation. And could you help us utilizing your decision system to apply to our data points, to our customers? And can we automate our underwriting from 80% to 95%? And that more in depth in a way, utilizing the more in depth data, and also how we can make the automated decisions. There's two different paths. One is automated underwriting, one is automated decisions. The automated underwriting is very simple, where you have an upload option, documents upload, scan, which goes to the company, they check it manually and issue the policy, which you can call as underwriting automation, because you're not directly handing over the documents to the agent. But underwriting decision is different. In the underwriting decision system has to read, analyze the documents, data, connecting with other type of data, utilizing the historical risk, analyze that, build a profile, develop a risk, and come up with a decision. Hey, the policy can be issued or not over here, what is the premium I can give, what is the risk is there, what is the benefit I can give. So that is a decision. So InsurTech company that came to us, and we spent like without getting any paid for, you can say, like 12 to 14 months. We have spent our own money with that insurance company on our people, team, cloud, and data collections. And for 12, 14 months, we have zero revenue. And but we only spent time on experimenting with that insurance company. We were lucky enough to get that chance because they help us in the data. They help us in the kind of like a domain expertise. And so the first 14 months, no revenue, no business, only pilot, so that the product can be successful enough around that. So that is
So
a kind of like a part to go ahead.
so what I'm taking away as a learning is that you started off as an AI platform that helps collect customer intelligence, and
Yeah.
then there was a moment of fate where the insurance company came and said, we already analyze data, could you
Yeah.
use this technology to automate this for us? And that's how
Yes.
you got your first break, and then you slowly
Yeah.
worked with them and built up.
Absolutely. Our first product was underwriting product in insurance. That is how our insurance journey started out. And after like spending last 2 years in this journey, now we are a full stack insurtech and health company. And we have like a 200 plus APIs for insurance, 8 plus core products, end-to-end life cycle. You can check from insurance right now.
So when you were running the AI platform, did you have any paid customers at that point of time, or was it like
No, as I
hustling?
said, we run free pilots for 14 months.
Awesome. So I really like your story that you started off with your own bootstrap money for 12 to 14 months, and you kept hustling, taking the product to the market and seeing which is going to work. And then there was a fate. There was a company that came and said, automate this with our technology, with your technology. And
Yes,
that was the first step that built you up, right?
that's how it worked out. Yeah.
So so the 12 to 14 months wait, you had zero customers at that point of time. It was
Zero
only
customer,
working, right?
one customer
Uh,
to work as a pilot with them.
and so when you started the AI platform, you didn't have any customer as such.
Actually, we tried to have the customers,
Yeah,
but as you know, like they were not in the insurance space.
yeah,
They were in the e-commerce space because
right,
that is where the customer intelligence was more allowed.
correct.
And and that's where we start. But also, they were not paying to us. We were doing the pilots with them.
Hmm,
So, and we thought then after some time when we work with this client, and when we go more deeper into the financial insurance sector, we understood the problem more depth.
hmm.
I spent my time in Mumbai, on the premises of these insurance companies to understand the problems, to understand what could we build it better way. So that I put my all energy to
Hmm.
work on insurance only. I I cut down everything else where I was earlier working or providing any support. I just focus on this to build Artivatic. Because for me, I don't come from an insurance background. In fact, like I don't come in any background. I just did my graduation from IIT Kharagpur, and this is my third startup I'm building. So I didn't do a job. So I had no idea how to basically do a sales with the corporates. I had no idea how to reach out to them. I had no idea how to build a beauty products as well. But I
So
learned by working with them.
so if I have to take away few learnings from you, because this is your third startup, people are, it's very tough getting it off the ground and getting your first clutch of customers. So what are going to be, so with your third startup, I'm sure you would have improvised on the principles. So what are like the way I quoted you, the Google philosophy, which is like they have got those 10 philosophy notes.
Improve,
One of
improve.
them being
Yeah,
improve, improve, improve. So what are those
true.
philosophies that you are having in these three startups experiences?
See, when I started my first company, I was very mature in nature because I don't know, to be honest, how to raise fund. I don't even know how who what is called investors. I didn't know like how to make proper PPTs. To be honest, it took me like look a while to understand, and I have focused on believing in a Marwadi way that I have to generate money, invest money to build my company, and that's what I have done. For last few companies, I won't raise any fund, any business that I did. I have invested my own money that I generated from my other ways that I can generate from different startups. I built it on along with that way. But from that company, when I worked in the second company, my focus, and I never catered into the kind of like KPIs. I didn't know the KPIs earlier. I was only focusing, okay, hey, I need to do this, let's do this. I don't know how much revenue. I don't know like burn rate. I don't know what to do, look into that. I don't know the financial controls. I don't know like organization principles actually. And my focus was earlier in the beginning that, hey, I need to get this work done means work done. Nothing else matters to me. The team doesn't matter to me. When in the beginning I was focusing on. But when I came to the second startup, I started learning. I spent time, and it got me the importance that the team comes first and people comes first. And you have to analyze the how much you're spending, how much return is coming, how much you're burning, how to reach fund, what to make PPTs, how to make business plans, how to do marketing, how to do sales. I had to learn that. I improvised that on second startup. And when I came back to the third startup, I had understanding of how to build a team. I had understanding of yes, we can raise the fund as well. I had an understanding that yes, we can take it to the bigger level. We can think beyond lifestyle business right now. We can innovate the products on that. And then in this Artivatic, my focus was that to not only alone I want to focus. So I build a team who can help me to focus along with me, who can go with me. Because earlier I was like a all-in-one person who was driving everything, but now I focus on that because if you want to grow a business, if you want to do a business, you have to hire people along you who can help you in financials, you can help in products, you can help in sales, you can help in support, and so a lot of things I learned in this journey and a lot of improvisation. In fact, like one thing that I've learned in this journey, a huge part is patience, which was not there in the time of graduation when I came back from there to build a business. It was not a patience for me. I have learned that the long cycle, the long revenues, 1 years, 2 years, 3 years, it takes that much time. So I used to get impatient earlier. It's not working. Let's just stop it out.
And if I ask you if you're comfortable, currently, whatever your revenue is, if you're okay, you can share it. Whatever your revenue is, and you have generated that revenue with zero advertising budget. Is that true? Or
Yes, absolutely true.
yeah,
In fact, like I'll tell you, I didn't even have a marketing team, sales team, and those teams.
yeah.
The recently that you have met a colleague called Supriya, she recently joined 2 months back. She is the first employee as a marketing in Artivatic. In terms of all our growth has been organic to Artivatic. All I have reached out to them after their network. I have utilized my network that I can connect with them. I participated to corporate innovation so that they understand me value and give me an entry to work with them, give me a chance to work with them. I know we have been made a mistake because when you go for the experiments, you make mistakes. Sometimes like you may not reach their expectations. Sometimes you may go beyond expectations. So yes, I have learned all these things on the way, and we haven't spent a zero revenue. On the only cost that we have spent is the travel cost, which I travel from Bangalore to Mumbai and Delhi to meet clients and customers. That's all the cost.
Yeah. So I like your so if I have to summarize your business, so that and few learnings that I could take for myself is that one, you had a product idea which was which there was a use case where an insurance company themselves wanted it, and
Yeah,
therefore you didn't really have to put money on advertising. So one of the key takeaways is that if you want to build up a business, especially, then you could either choose a business which has the product in itself, the hero that sells. That means it requires less advertising. Otherwise,
correct.
surely, if you're selling cola, then naturally you need advertising. So
True.
your business didn't need any advertising. Your business was purely B2B, and the only thing you did was uh, just the fundamentals, going and meeting client and getting them try the product.
Absolutely. I
So
did myself actually. That
so
is the part I didn't leave anybody else to handle.
yeah. So creating customer trials was your biggest growth secret
Biggest.
till now with zero
Absolutely.
advertising.
Zero advertising. I don't mind to lose money on that,
Yeah.
but I ensure that I am there with every customers at any moment of time, whenever they need help,
Yeah.
or whether they buy my customer letter or not, but I will never stop experimenting that out.
Got it. So this is where my key takeaway from this conversation of yours is that if you have a product, you need to generate as many trials of the product, and generating trials of the product leads you to creating use cases, leads you to generating more customers. And this is my biggest takeaway from this session with you, that customer trials
Absolutely true.
is what creates the product.
Absolutely true. Unless the customer is trying your products, you don't know what is they want. You don't know what improvement you have to do, and you never know if it's going to success or not. You never know.
and and
Yes, in the
on
beginning, like it can fail.
And on the parting, so because we are going to close, we are running short on time now.
Yeah,
If I
sure.
have to ask, what is going to be that one internal tagline for you as a brand that you carry? What is it going to be?
For us as an Artivatic, our focus is that enabling affordable access using technology to millions of people. That is the goal for us. And for that, our focus is that personalized risk and decision making platform to build for millions.
Yeah. So the reason I asked the internal driving line for your messaging is because what I've seen is that a lot of brands have a certain purpose, and this
Yeah.
is your brand purpose, that I want to personalize risks for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's true.
So thank you so much. Two key takeaways I'm taking as a brand. Your brand promise is to personalize risk for the service provider and for the people that are buying. So this
Yeah.
is one. This is what the brand promises, the internal tagline for you. And two, you built up this business purely on one thing, and that is generating customer trials.
That's all.
Closing remarks. Anything from you that you want to add?
No, I think my only point is that when you want to start, you just start, don't think. And I know it doesn't happen in a day night. It didn't happen to anybody. And especially when you're starting in the B2B, it comes with a lot of you can say like the times that you need to have the patience on that. Patience is a very big part that you need to play in your success. Yeah, it may not happen that every business equivalently perform the same. For some, they may get result in the 1 year. You may get result in 2 years. It depends on the which category, which product line, which sector you're performing, and what time you're working. That's all I want to say over
You
here. That's
remind
all.
me of the tagline that Phil Knight, the creator of Nike, comes with: "Go all in," and that's what you did.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Nice chatting with you. And we are going to connect soon. And all the very best
Absolutely.
for your growth and success. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye
Bye.
bye.